At 2 months of age, infants require approximately 15 hours of sleep but range from 10 to 20 hours of sleep, while a 6 to 12-month-old gets approximately 13 hours of sleep per day. The number of naps an infant takes varies, but infants typically take 2 per day by the end of the first year. Breastfed infants usually sleep for shorter periods with frequent waking, especially during the night. Most infants don't begin sleeping through the night without waking until about 3 months of age. Signs of sleep readiness in infants include rubbing of eyes, yawning, looking away, and fussing. Most infants don't develop strong, hormonally driven circadian rhythms until they are 12 weeks old, and some babies take considerably longer. To try to help, support your baby's tendencies to wake up at the same time each morning and expose your baby to daylight during the morning and afternoon. Another constructive way to help promote sleep habits is to place infants in the crib when still awake so they become accustomed to fall asleep there, so that if they wake during the night, they are familiar with their surroundings and comfortable with falling back asleep. Babies sometimes make noises and may even cry out when they are still asleep or only partially aroused. It's easy for new parents to make the mistake of assuming a baby is awake when just sleeping in a fitful, noisy way. If you intervene under these conditions, you may be doing the very thing you want most to avoid, waking up a sleeping infant. SIDS is another potential problem in sleep for infants. It's the unexpected death of the child before the age of 1. Most cases occur within the first 4 months of birth and the cause is unknown. Having the baby sleep supine has reduced its prevalence. In toddlers, total sleep decreases slightly to 11 to 12 hours per day. Most toddlers take one nap per day but may not take a nap at all by the end of the second or third year. Toddlers typically move from crib to bed by the age of 3, leading to some sleep disturbances. Like adults, children with insomnia either have trouble going to sleep, staying asleep, or are simply not well rested after what should be a normal amount of time sleeping. The best way to help this and many other sleep problems at this age is for parents to set bedtime routines and stick to them. Include your child in everyday activities, avoid exposure to artificial lights before and during bedtime. Make sure the bedroom environment is quiet, cool, dark, and comfortable for sleeping. Limit food and drink, especially any drinks containing caffeine, before bedtime. In addition to being sleepy during the day, symptoms of childhood sleeping problems can include irritability, behavioral changes, impaired learning ability, poor control of emotions, and hyperactivity. Sleep apnea is a possible problem at any age, but you may start to notice the symptoms more beginning around the toddler age. The average preschool child sleeps 11 to 12 hours per night. Preschool age children commonly take one nap per day, ranging anywhere from 1 to 2 hours in length. Preschool age children typically stop taking frequent naps by the end of the 5th year. Waking throughout the night is common throughout early childhood. Maintaining a consistent bedtime routine might help with these issues. Preschool age is a prime age for sleep disturbances. Nightmares and night terrors are very possible problems but need to be addressed differently by the parents. Nightmares happen in REM sleep, usually more often in the second half of the night. The child may wake scared and needing comfort. Night terrors occur from deep stage 3 or 4 sleep and usually in the first 1 to 4 hours. The child usually doesn't fully wake from night terrors, and parent intervention should not happen unless to prevent injury. The child will not be aware of the parent's presence if they try to comfort the child and could make the experience worse. Enforcement of healthy bedtimes and bedtime routines are still important. The amount of sleep and rest is highly individualized for school-age children, depending mainly on the child's age and activity level. School-age children usually spend more time on homework, other school activities, and sports than they did in previous years, affecting their sleep schedules. School-age children typically get 11 and a half hours of sleep at 5 years of age and 9 hours of sleep at 12 years of age. There are fewer sleeping problems that occur in school-age children. Getting enough sleep at night is important due to this age usually not taking naps during the day. Parents should make sure to set a bedtime that gives enough sleep time for the child's daytime activity level. The more active they are, the more sleep they need. TV watching and other media devices should be limited at bedtime and not used in the child's room when in bed. Bedwetting is not seen as much of a problem unless it continues past the age of 5. If enuresis continues to be problematic for the school-age child, then that would be a time to discuss this problem with the doctor. Changing social environments can often change the sleep patterns of adolescents. This could pose difficulties as this is a time when their growth and development require additional sleep for their health. Adolescents should generally get around 9 hours of sleep each night, although they typically get around 7.5 hours of sleep. This is mainly due to extracurricular activities, homework, and other social obligations. The change in an adolescent's social life can change up their sleep habits, sometimes causing them to get less sleep than they need during this time of physical growth and development. An increase in school and after school activities also creates a need for adequate sleep, but can also contribute to less time to get that adequate sleep. If sleep deprivation occurs, it can cause increased problems with obesity, depression, fatigue, and concentration problems, all of which can contribute to problems at school. Excessive weight gain can also contribute to the chance of sleep apnea becoming a problem. Generally, no encouragement is needed for infant activity. Infants are active naturally, but problems can arise when devices such as play yards and strollers are used too much. These devices do not allow for the infant to access and develop their gross motor skills. Most infants are naturally active and do not need encouragement to be mobile. However, problems can occur when devices such as play yards, strollers, commercial swings, and mobile walkers are frequently used. These items limit movement and prevent infants from learning and developing gross motor skills. Some people believe that mobile walkers improve coordination. However, they are very dangerous if tilted over or placed near stairs, porches, pools, furnaces, and other hazardous surfaces. There is very little problem with toddlers not getting enough physical exercise. Toddlers are very active during this age. There is a concern that computers and games are taking away from the actual physical play. Allowing your toddler to be hands-on with activities is a great way to develop their sensory skills. When planning activities for your toddler, do not plan on having a set schedule, being that toddlers are so active and wanting to explore things. Activities such as playing in flour freely, stacking cups, and drawing on cardboard boxes are activities that will keep the toddler entertained and active. A toddler's energy level is usually very high. Yet recently, there has been concern that decreased time spent in actual physical play and more time engaging in computers and watching television have increased the onset of children being overweight. This is particularly evident in large urban areas during the winter months where there may be inadequate safe play and physical exercise space. Activity in the preschooler is still very high. Motor activities allow for more exploring of their environment and increasing physical activity in the preschooler. TV and computers are very appealing but should be kept to a minimum. This age benefits from free play and exposure to physical activity. A key aspect for play in this age group is to be safe, fun, and developmentally appropriate. Activities include sorting different color objects, making arts and crafts, and counting different objects out. Sedentary activities such as television, video games, or computer programs appear fun and exciting, but can become unhealthy substitutes for physical play. Experts recognize that a sedentary lifestyle contributes greatly to cardiovascular diseases and obesity. School-age children are more capable of physical activity. Their muscles are stronger and permit for longer and strenuous play. School-age children are able to do adult-like activities as long as their body is ready for the exercise. School-age children need space to run, jump, and climb in a safe environment. Children at this age are also able and want to help with household and outdoor tasks. Activities for school-age children include sports and yard work. School-age children acquire the coordination, timing, and concentration that are required to participate in adult-type activities, but they may lack the strength, stamina, and control of adolescents and adults. It is important for parents, teachers, and coaches to remember that although children at this age are large and appear strong and healthy, that they may not be ready for strenuous competitive athletics. Children with disabilities or those who hesitate to participate in active play, such as obese children, may require special assessment and help so that activities interest them and are compatible with their limitations or restrictions while also meeting their developmental needs. Adolescents spend more time than any other age group practicing and participating in activities. Adolescents are recommended a minimum of 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise at least 3 days a week. Adolescents have a higher rate for wanting to exercise because it helps their appearance. Appearance seems to be a factor for a lifelong status in an adolescent's life. Activities include going to the gym, playing sports, and doing fun things that require movement. Adolescents should not be pushed to do an activity that is too much for their body's strengths. Participation in school physical education classes declines with age because schools often do not have mandatory requirements past grade 9 or 10. Adolescents should not be encouraged to engage in physical activities that are beyond their physical or emotional capacity. For example, weight training can increase the basal metabolic rate and replace fat mass with muscle mass. However, weight training is not generally recommended for prepubescent children until they have reached physical and skeletal maturity.